Alright, I got a little van, and one of the main purposes of this little van is to transport motorcycles. And to demo that, we've got two motorcycles in the garage of different ends of the spectrum. This dirt bike here, and this guy's a KTM 690 Enduro R. And we've got our VFR here, which is a custom VFR at this point. It's not finished yet, but it's a rolling bike, and so I can demo getting this into the van. This is a 2000 Honda VFR 800. So yeah, we're gonna try putting these in the van. I'll sort of show you what it takes to get these in to a small van like that. The one we have is a 2015 Chevy City Express, but it's equivalent to the Nissan NV200. I've also got this little folding ramp, just one ramp. Then I have just this one strap here that I use to strap this thing down to make sure it doesn't move on me. Just enough so it doesn't pop off and fall off the actual truck. The major limiting factor with this van is the height of the doorway here, which is pretty much 48 inches, about 49 inches wide. So effectively 48 by 48 there. And then depth on this, 82, 83 inches functionally that you could fit a bike in here. Other than that, you're gonna have to be pushing the wheel off to the side or putting it in at an angle to make anything longer than that fit. And if we look at the dirt bike in here, up to about here, it's 48 inches when the bike is level. And so that means I need to take off a couple components such as the mirrors. I've got to take off this windscreen up here, and then it has in the past, slid into the van. I've done this like twice, once by myself, once with help, and it is feasible to do by myself. So I'm gonna try that again just to show you here. It's also why these guys are off the bike right now. These are the little guards, the little wind guards sort of thing that go on the hand guard stuff up here. But these are off just so I have clearance to get this thing into the van. Now this can be, once this is loose, I can sort of let it sag like that, and that's enough to clear the roof of that van. Yeah, it's probably around 85 inches total length. Then I've got to sort of pull the wheel over by hand a little bit and center the bike. But yeah, the bike barely fits in here. You can see, I mean, it's right, it is right at the top here. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the clearance isn't too bad in here. I actually need to roll the bike back just a little bit. I sort of center it and then roll it back until it hits this thing here. So this bike isn't bad because it's a lighter bike. The VFR is actually a heavier bike, believe it or not. So I've never tried to load that one, so we'll see how it goes. I've had thoughts about putting a winch system back here, so I could just strap it onto the bike and just have it pull the bike right up into the van for me. I thought about doing that, just haven't gotten around to it yet. We probably will at some point. Unless we find out that this is just so easy to load them without it that we don't need it. But let's try the VFR. Alright, so you might notice like when I'm getting it out that I use my body to block the wheel and sort of act as a brake when I'm bringing it down. That helps to sort of control it. All right, so we'll try it with the VFR. I've never tried it before. The VFR may be too heavy for me to push it up that ramp. We'll see. Yeah, and for reference, the VFR, or total length here on the VFR, is approximately 81 inches. So the VFR is, yeah, it's like 44 inches. At the top is the highest point here, even when it's on its side. So should have plenty of space on the top of that. So I had a little bit of trouble with the kickstand. I left the kickstand down and it caught on the floor there in the bottom. But I kind of like having the kickstand down for safety, because once I get it up in there, I can just drop it right over and I'm not struggling to hold the thing up, you know. All right, so this guy's in. We've got plenty of room at the front here. We've got 3 or 4 inches to play with in front of that front wheel. And in the back, we are all the way, the center console there, bumped right up against that. Then in terms of height in here, I've got plenty of room in here. Like I said, it's about 48 inches up there, and this is only like 44 inches right here. So I've got a good 4 inches. Good 4 inches just to this thing, and then we've got a little bit more space once we get inside here. So I got 8 or 10 inches right in here. Then in terms of strapping down points, I've got one right here. There's a strap down point right there. There's another on the other side. We've got one in the same spot. But yeah, from this point, it's just a matter of strapping it down like you would anywhere else, like in the back of a truck or whatever.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
So far so good with this loading with the van. I am pretty pleased with how the bikes fit in here. I'm happy that I can get a high clearance bike in here, like the dirt bike. I expected to be able to fit sport bikes and stuff in here like the VFR without too much problem. But I wasn't sure about a bike that had bigger ground clearance and bigger tires and stuff like that KTM. I'm pretty stoked that fits in here one way or another. I mean, there's a way to make it work. It does take a little bit extra work in terms of disassembling and assembling the bike. And I'm also thrilled that I can get the bikes on here and off by myself manually. The possibility of hooking up a winch on here at some point and winching things on and off. But it's probably, I mean, the simpler I can make it, the better. So the fact that I can do it without that is pretty cool. I'm sure if I was really trying, I could get 2 sport bikes or something in here. But it would be pretty tight, and getting them on and off here would be a little sketchy, I think. I definitely wouldn't do that by myself. But yeah, so I'll be trying this bike out this summer. I'm gonna be taking a trip, taking the dirt bike with me, and we'll see how it goes. I should be loading the dirt bike on and off of here a few times.